Okay, welcome back everyone to episode 22 of Mathghamhain Morsels. This is again going to be in the Simple Comfort series. And this is going to be a bit different than normal because I actually have a full recipe for this dish with measurements. I know, weird as that is. This is from a cookbook that my family had when I was growing up called the Magic Spoon. And this is the yummy roast chicken from the Magic Spoon. So, this was one of my favorite dishes when I was younger. I've already got my chicken ready, so I had that pulled out, drained it off, because there's always a little bit of that juice in packaging for chicken. Washed it off, patted it dry, removed any feathers that were missed, or pins that were missed, rather, is a more accurate way of phrasing it. And now we're going to start off on this. But before I start working on the chicken, I've already mixed up the seasoning mix for this. And this seasoning, I didn't use the pepper, but it's a half teaspoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of dry oregano, 1 tablespoon of dry thyme, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of dry parsley, and 1 tablespoon of dry sage. If you have only rubbed sage rather than ground sage is a stronger flavor to it, so just increase the amount of sage about 1.5 to 2 times the amount. Should give you the right flavor. And to prepare this chicken, after you, again, drain it, pat it dry, wash it, pat it dry, and make sure that all the pins or pin feathers are out, pinions are out. All you do is you take a lemon. This one I rolled before using, just makes it a bit more flavorful and makes it so that the juice is easier to get out, and I picked out some of the seeds. So you take the lemon that you have and you rub down the skin of the chicken with this lemon. And you want it to go all over, and you're just very lightly squeezing the lemon as you do this, so that some of the juice drips down, or not so much drips down, but is spread onto the meat. Then that's one side done. Flip the bird over, and same treatment for the back. Just squeezing that lemon down gently so you get some of the juice down onto the bird. And this already smells really nice, that fresh lemon smell. Flip the bird back over. And then you want to add about a tablespoon of the seasoning mix. Plus or minus depending on how much you want on the bird and how big your bird is. Mine is a little bit bigger than the one in the cookbook. The cookbook has it at about 3 to 4 pound bird, and mine is closer to 5 pounds. What's really nice about this is when you mix up that seasoning blend, you mix up more than you really need, but then you can store it, and it makes it really easy to, at a later time, just pull this out when you have a chicken. And of course, chicken's really good to feed a hungry family. You have lots of meat, and you have some delicious leftovers with this as well. So I'm going to bit more of this. And just as you're spooning this on, you want to rub it down onto the meat. Also, before starting to record this, just so that this video can be a little bit shorter, cut up some potatoes and onion and sliced up some mushroom, which I'm going to be roasting with this chicken. So there we go. The outside of the chicken has been flavored up. Now then, you want this herb blend to go down into the center of the chicken as well. That way you're flavoring from the outside in and the inside out. It might take a couple bits before it's good, but that seems about right. And then that hunk of lemon that you were using earlier, shove that right in the center of your bird. And I had one whole lemon that I just used half to rub down. I'm going to shove the other half into this as well. And now that's looking beautiful. Let me move some stuff away so I can get my roasting pan, which I already have the onion, the mushroom, and the potatoes in. And what I'm going to do is pick up my bird and toss it into my roasting pan. So that's what it looks like. Bird already rubbed down with that seasoned blend. Toss down on that metal trivet. So I mentioned in the last episode when I was cooking the lamb, trivets. You can either do a standard trivet or a root veg trivet or any sort of additional things that you're roasting: mushrooms, potatoes, onions, carrots. You can throw carrots into this if you want. You can throw some celery into this if you want. I just went for mushrooms, potatoes, and some onion. But try different things in the bottom. And then this is just a metal trivet. It's a roasting rack is also another term for it in this case when it's a metal one. And that's just lifting the bird up so that you can get airflow entirely around it and raising it up off the metal of my roasting pan. So this is now going to go into a 425 degree oven, which I've already preheated. And it's going to bake for about an hour, a little bit more for my bird because, like I said, I went for a larger bird. And about halfway through, you want to open up the oven, double check on your bird, and just kind of move whatever root veg or whatever else you throw into the bottom of your roasting pan around, just to make sure that it doesn't burn and get some even heat to it. Then you'll stick it back in, let it roast up for the rest of the time. Once it's done, pull it out, let it rest about 5 minutes. You want to pull out just a little bit before it reaches the core temp that you're looking for. About 5 degrees is normally a good margin because you'll get a bit of carryover cooking. But I will join you guys back at the desk after this lovely bird comes out of the oven. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, and here we go. Let me just... These are the mushrooms that I roasted up in the bottom of the pan. Got an absolutely beautiful color on those. But here's the 2 chicken legs and thighs. Had a bit of tearing of the skin when I was cutting them off, but as you can see, nice golden brown color on the skin. Nice and flavorful. The herbs being rubbed on the skin gave that a beautiful taste. Fair bit of lemoniness to it from the lemon inside and out. The potatoes look absolutely beautiful. The bottom's got a little bit darker. That looks almost burnt to the camera, but that is not. That's just a real deep brown. And that's where the lemon juice kind of dripped down and almost caramelized. So there's a bit of sweetness to them there. And real nice crust on the bottom of that potato. That's absolutely delicious. Then, of course, there's the actual chicken meat, which I'm just going to hit this with a little bit more salt. This chicken has already rested, so it's come down to the perfect temperature. Let's get a bit of that skin, some meat. Get that in. Nice lemoniness. Very herbaceous. Absolutely delicious. And this is just going right down memory lane to me. This is, again, one of those meals that's really easy to make for an entire family. Get a good-sized chicken, roast it up. That herb blend stores rather well. So you mix that up maybe once every 2-3 times that you make the chicken. Then just stick it in a jar and let it chill in your oven, or chill in your spice rack, rather. Absolutely fantastic. And the meat is still nice and moist. When I was cooking it, when I got about a bit over half the way through cooking, I did flip the entire chicken over just to give the backside a little bit of coloration so that it didn't look anemic. You can choose whether or not you want to do that. I did just for a bit of presentation, which it turns out beautifully. Well, so I'm not just devouring this all on my plate in front of you guys. I'll say goodbye and give you my normal challenge to try new things, try new flavors. Remember your old classics. Make them again. Try different flavors in them. This one, the salt when I was growing up was just standard table salt. I used some pink Himalayan sea salt. It goes absolutely beautifully in this. And just enjoy cooking, enjoy your food, enjoy life. And with that, have a good one all.